This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, happy Thursday. Welcome. Jason Walker Show inside the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave. And coming up today, the one and only Flint Rasmussen. He will join us to talk about the PBR in Billings this weekend. Also, let's see, we'll talk Cat-Grizz rivalry. We'll talk belt buckles and much, much more. All with Flint coming up. Also, Nicole Riebe going to join us in just a couple of moments to talk about the Bengals tennis team. Opening segment of the show is brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. With over 50 years experience, the finest craftsmen available in the state. They'll build you a home crafted to last 4 generations. Check them out at yourcustomlog.com to get started today. A couple of news things before we get to Nicole Riebe. Of course, you can watch on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com, and much more. Let's go to JasonWalkerShow.com for everything. The big news today, Gabe Sulcer, the former Billings senior standout, former Montana Grizz, is headed off. Kyle Hansen from MontanaSports.com, the first to report on this, but he's heading to the Big 12. He's going to Texas to continue his college football career. He has 2 years of eligibility remaining. He remains, he is a grad transfer, and he'll be headed off to Texas. Jeff Choate, the linebacking coach down there, also co-defensive coordinator, former Bobcat. Texas 5-7 a year ago. Sulcer, a 2017 Gatorade Player of the Year, fantastic athlete, just a stud. And had a great, great career. Injury kind of riddled career with Montana, but dude's a stud. And we wish him the best of luck. There's no question about that, because he is really, really talented. And he'll do great things, I believe, down there in Texas. So he actually reached out to them, he told MTN Sports, after he answered the transfer portal. So good news there. Also good news for the Montana Grizzlies men's tennis team. They are heading off into the semifinals of the Big Sky Conference Championships after beating Idaho State today 4-1. Grizz 15-4 on the year. And they will take on Idaho, the top seed, on Friday morning. And Big Sky Conference Championships continuing down there in Phoenix. So there you go. Let's see, what else did we see in the news today? I think that was about it as far as big stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. That includes tennis in the AA, and that is the East-West crossover, which is kind of like the softball deal up in Great Falls, except tennis will be playing over in Missoula. And joining us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, the head coach, Nicole Riebe of the Bengals, on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach. So I was going to let you off the hook this week, and then you sent me a text back yesterday that said, I don't want to be let off the hook. The kids played great. We played a lot of matches, and I'm happy for them. So take me through this, Coach.
Well, it was one of those things where Last week was definitely a makeup week for a lot of matches because we had matches scheduled for the week prior to that, but then we had all the cold weather. Everything got shifted and moved. So most of our varsity boys ended up playing 4 matches in 6 days, or 4 competition days, because we usually do multiple matches at tournaments. And so Tuesday was Crosstown. Wednesday we had JV Crosstown. Thursday, I think I have that backwards. Tuesday was Missoula Big Sky. Wednesday was JV Crosstown. Then we had varsity Crosstown on Thursday, and then we were up in Kalispell for an all-day tournament. So it was just a lot of court time for a lot of the kids, and it was so exciting to really start to be able to see what we've been doing on the court at practice really start to take effect and play out on the courts. They're having so much fun, and they're getting so much better every match they play.
Well, and it helps when you get to actually play and you're not just hitting balls against each other or against a wall at Lockheed Park or whatever. It helps to play real matches. And I, I'm a big proponent of practices are great, but Allen Iverson may have had it right. Nicole, we're talking about practice, but once you're able to get out and see competition, you can't emulate game speed. You can't, you just can't do that in practices. So for them to get out and actually play, really, one of the first times consistently all season long, that's good for them.
Absolutely. And it was great because every school, there's going to be even within schools, some players play different, have a different game mentality for how they structure their singles points. Others have, different ways in how they're going to play their doubles points, either when they're serving or receiving. And so for them to really just have a bunch of experience against a lot of different game plans and strategies, and then finding ways for them to either counter those strategies and find ways for them to be successful. It was just a lot thrown at them all at once, and it was great. Like you said, you can only do so many repetitions in practice before you just need that exposure to so many different types and styles of play.
Yeah, it's fantastic as we talked to Helena High tennis coach Nicole Riebe. All right, Crosstown, I think Capital boys ended up with the win. Remind me how the girls ended up.
Helena High girls ended up with the win on that one.
Okay, good. Good for you, the Bengals. But again, it's about the competition, and then you guys went up and did the Western Conference up in Kalispell, and that's a lot of matches, like you said, in a short amount of time. How tired are they now, or were they on Monday after when you got to practice?
Monday's energy was just a little bit lower than it has been for most Monday practices. So I think just the travel to Kalispell and back, I think, is what really caught up with them, and probably on the heels of all the matches during the week too. So yeah, Monday was a little low key, and that's fine. But they've been back at it. We had a short practice the other day, yesterday actually, just because of we were waiting for the courts to dry. And when we finally got on the courts, they were ready to hit. They just want to play, and they've seen the success that they can have, and they just really want to focus on those areas that they are the most successful and improve on those areas that they do need to improve upon and have a little more work in as well.
So who really surprised you with the way that they played last week, given everything we've talked about, weather, lack of game matches, all of that stuff, but who really kind of stepped up and surprised you?
I'm not sure that really anybody just flat out surprised me. I've been seeing what's been going on in practice. I've been seeing the effort that they're putting in, and it was just seeing them improve match by match by match. We have on our boys team, we have so many first-year players, and so it's just starting to click for them. And it was just really exciting to all of a sudden see, 8 of these guys where it's just like, oh, that's how we're supposed to. Okay, now we get it. So it was more fascinating to see the surprise on their faces when I start to put it all together.
Sure, definitely. And how nice was it to see everybody in the Western Conference finally?
Yeah, we finally got a chance to see some of the Missoula schools, which is great. It seems like Missoula Hellgate and Missoula Sentinel both always have very strong programs for boys and girls. So it was really great to get some matches against them. We played Sentinel in quite a few matches, and we played some Hellgate singles players as well. So it was just nice to see where kids are stacking up in that Western Conference finally.
And as we talk with Helena High tennis coach Nicole Riebe on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, now it's East versus West, and this is a big weekend across the state because of softball and tennis all playing these crossovers. What do you expect over in Missoula this week?
Well, it'll be interesting. They've kind of changed the format from what it's been in years past, and so instead of a 2-day tournament where we play a bunch of different schools, they consolidated it down to essentially a double duels format. So we'll end up playing Billings West and Belgrade. So I have no idea what to expect. I know we played both those schools last year. Belgrade last year, it was their first year in the AA. So it'd be interesting to see if they've had some, additional players, move into that particular school and just what they really have. I will be curious to see on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's and tennis is different anyway because you guys actually have sub-conferences, right, in the conferences. Is that, or do you still do that?
Yeah, so tennis, unlike pretty much all the other sports, really has 4 divisions. It's a Northern, Eastern, Southern, and Western. And Helena High plays in the Southern Division along with Capital, Bozeman, and Gallatin High.
Which makes a lot of sense because you got Belgrade that's 8 miles from Bozeman, and which is closer, and then Butte, which is closer than all 3 of those. You guys are weird.
In the grand scheme of things, when you look at a map and you're like, well, we have 16 schools divided by 4 divisions. That's 4. We got to pair somebody together. So yeah, it's interesting how it's evolved over the decades.
I look at all the other sports, and then I look at tennis, and I go, oh, what are we doing? Because you guys rotate too, right? I mean, it's not always the same. Doesn't it rotate every year or 2?
That actually was the case, but as of last year when we finally had Gallatin High and Belgrade come on board as AA schools, that gave us 16 AA schools. So there is now no need to rotate from division to division. It's just every division has 4 schools now.
Okay, I know it's tough with 16. Hear me out, though. You've got 3 Billings schools. There's the East. You've got 3 in Bozeman. You could do a Southwest. You've got Capital, Helena, and Butte. That could be kind of Southwest B, whatever you want to call it. And then you throw in, actually, you put in the 5. So you get 5 with the Kalispell and Missoula schools in one division. There's your West. Then you've got Helena High, Capital, probably Butte, and then the Great Falls schools. There's your Central. We're almost going Class A here, Nicole. You see where I'm going with this?
right, yep.
And then you've got 6 schools over in the East. Or you could still do 4 and do the Southwest with the, throw the Bozeman and Belgrade and Butte into one, Helena High, or Helena schools, Great Falls schools into one. So there's, and then you've got the Billings schools in the East. I'm just saying. I mean, there's logic somewhere.
I'm like you. There's a myriad of ways that you could throw these conferences together, try different things. But no, and I wouldn't be surprised, in the next, I don't know how long. Sometimes change takes a while and processes. But there is, definitely things that can be looked at as far as modifying divisions, do we have these 4 divisions? Do we just expand it out to an East-West? What do we really want our, state and divisionals to look like?
Well, you do like you do with other sports. You put 8 schools from the West, 8 schools from the East, and you have a divisional in your Western and Eastern conferences, and then the top 4 go to state from each conference. And then you have 8 in state. 8 singles, 8 doubles teams. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. At some point, it will be there. I just don't have the crystal ball to tell you how far out it is.
Well, you've been at Helena High for like 29 years, so I mean, and you're only 24, which is impressive. But yeah, okay. So this week, take me through the girls, take me through the boys, and how you expect each doubles team, especially, to perform here.
Sure. So our girls for sure are 1 through 3 singles is very, very strong, and I think they'll stack up very, very well against Billings West. Last year Belgrade had a very strong number 1 singles player. Kale Kujala had a very, very strong matchup with her. So she will be there again this year. So it should be a great matchup for those two. And our doubles teams, we've seen some great play from our number 2 and number 3 girls doubles. So I'm really excited to see where they can go. Our 2 doubles team actually played the number 1 flight up in Kalispell this last weekend just because we had some players who were involved with some other school-related activities and could not make the trip. And so they showed some real great play. So I'm really curious to see where our depth is on our girls doubles. And boys doubles, I really think that our 1s, 2s, and 3s are going to stack up really, really well with what Bozeman and Belgrade will have. So it's just about looking for improvements and looking to make those changes on the court as soon as we can, instead of, letting some games slip away that, hey, there were a few deuces there that we really should have had some points. We should have, been able to have gotten some of those volleys, whatever, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Right.
But if we can be more aggressive in our change of tactics and be quicker about our change of tactics, we stand a real good chance to compete really strong this weekend.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because you do get, hopefully it won't be. It actually doesn't look like it's going to be good weather. So you're used to that, though.
Exactly. We even had 2 rain delays actually up in Kalispell. So we dealt with it.
Yes, you've dealt with it. But this will be good because you have a few matches left heading into divisionals in the middle of May. But this will be good for the teams just to get out and play again and pick up where they left off last week and build on that growth.
Correct. And that's the big thing, is just building upon that foundation that they've already started. So yeah, it's going to be a fun couple of weeks here, and playing some different teams and really seeing where they stack up before we get down into the nitty-gritty of divisionals.
Yep. Hey, appreciate it, and I won't let you off the hook next week. We'll figure out times, and we'll figure out how to get you on.
All right. Sounds great, Jason. I sure appreciate it.
That is Nicole Riebe. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right. Talk to you later, Jason.
Nicole Riebe joining us, Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All of our guests appear via the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. It's not just a bundle. It's your home, it's your auto, it's your life. Mike understands that. Mike gets it. Get a hold of Mike Miller State Farm in Helena today. All right, quick break. Coming right back. Flint Rasmussen will join us. We'll talk rodeo. We'll talk movies. Which is the better movie? I want to ask Flint. Pure Country or 8 Seconds? We'll talk to Flint coming up next. The opening segment brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes. 3 distinct divisions, milled, handcrafted, and timber frame. They've got a whole bunch of different floor plans, 15 plus under the milled log homes. And you can bring your own floor plan in. They'll create a home crafted to last for generations. Check them out, yourcustomlog.com, to get started today. Flint Rasmussen, next, Jason Walker Show.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. Hanging out in the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave on this day in history, the walk-off, and more. But now it is time to check in with a good friend of the show, great friend of the show, and just a good dude all the way around. His name is Flint Rasmussen. You've got the PBR this weekend in Billings, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. It's home for Flint. It's a new season, a new schedule, and a new finals. And joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline is the great PBR entertainer, Flint Rasmussen, on the Jason Walker Show. All right, my friend, it's been a while since we chatted. You blew me off at MSU Spring Rodeo, and
I knew who you were. I knew out of the gate you were gonna bring that up. I feel bad. I'm sorry. We're still friends.
We are still friends. You're on the show, so you've been busy. How's life?
Busy. This has probably been the most, through my entire career, probably the most hectic winter/spring I've ever had. For one, it doesn't help that I'm older. I remember years ago we did a whole bunch of, PBR was really doing a lot of 3-day shows. So every weekend it was 3 days and it was a grind. But that was, 15 years ago. So we are, people still, I don't know if they realize our PBR season is now a season like every other sport. And it's funny, when we decided to do it this year, it's been from, I got on a plane on December 31st to Indianapolis, and I've been on a plane every weekend since. And our World Finals, this is our last regular season event here in Billings, and so our World Finals is in a couple weeks in Texas, not in Vegas anymore. And people had a fit, like, the hell are we going to do the rest of the year? What? I wish I could watch NFL every weekend all year long, but they actually have a season. Yep. And it seems like when you do it in bull riding, rodeo, it just blows people's minds, So it's actually been pretty exciting because guys don't have that. We used to have that coming up in May. We'd get a break and everybody that was hurt could come back and make a run in the fall. And you don't get to do that in any other sport, and it's been exciting for us to see guys with that sense of urgency to try and get to the World Finals or win a world title. And funny how the cream still rises to the top,
right? No
matter how long this season is. So, but for us, it's been a lot of flying. We've done a couple midweek shows, a Tuesday in LA, a Wednesday in Everett, Washington. I feel, I feel like a rock star, and that's what I always wanted to be anyway. So I've seen a million faces, and I've rocked them all.
Yes, you have. And you still sound better than John Bon Jovi does now. Did you see the video?
I was just going to say, I've been a Bon Jovi fan since college. I think he's a good guy, a good entertainer, but man, some of the videos, it's like, it reminds me, I always joked at Willie Nelson. Remember when Willie Nelson went to Choteau, Montana? Letterman brought him in.
Yes.
And I've joked for years that Willie just sings the first line to every song and then just talks through it. It's like, Whiskey River, take my mind. I hear you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. John Bon Jovi, don't be that guy. Like, he's struggling. isn't he?
His voice, and man, there was something wrong. It was last week I saw a video of Wanted Dead or Alive, and it was almost sad to watch because he's declined, I think, up here too.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's my go-to karaoke song.
Hey, I did that with a band one time in Gardner on New Year's Eve.
I did it on the stage of the South Point showroom with Chancey Williams and the Younger Brothers band. There you go.
Nice. Yeah. I was only with Mark Longy and Western Skies.
Yeah, whoever that is. Great job, Jason.
Well, they weren't.
No,
Western,
I'm joking.
Oh, they were Out of the Chute back then. That's what it was. It was in the 90s. It was Out of the Chute. That's who it was. Yeah.
So,
but yeah. So you mentioned the season and a sense of urgency with these guys, Flint, and it's really cool because it's like a playoff chase. It's like a pennant race to an extent. And is this one of the tightest races we've seen coming into the regular season finale?
You know, I'm such an idiot for not really knowing points available for go rounds and stuff at the PBR World Finals. Now, for people watching that, you know, in rodeo, it's about money. In the PBR, it's a point system for go-round wins, aggregate wins, and then it, of course, goes up at World Finals. I don't know the particulars of what points are available, but in my mind, I look down to about the top 10 or 12, and mathematically, everybody's got a realistic. Well, I can't say mathematically and realistic all in the same sentence, I guess. Everybody's got a mathematical chance to possibly win a world title, but those top 5 or so, it's really tight. Now, I see there's some guys out this week in Billings kind of taking the opposite approach I thought some of them would take, like Jose Vitor Leme, who's battled injury and sickness and the 2-time defending champion. He aggravated a groin injury in Nampa last week, not coming to Billings because he's giving himself, he thinks he has a better chance to gain more points in 2 weeks at the World Finals with these weeks off than he does coming all the way to Billings, Montana. You know, Jose's a smart guy, so he knows what he's doing. But you got Dalen Swearingen, the kid from New York, who's number 2. Joao Ricardo Vieira, who's been in the hunt forever, 37 years old. Look for him. And then just down the line, believe it or not, the Brazilian guys are pretty good. Weird.
I feel like every time we talk PBR, that's the story.
Yeah. So it is so tight. And everybody said, oh, half a season. Technically not a half a season. What we did before, it's weird that people kind of get things wrong on social media. That's hard to believe.
No way.
But, you know, like the last couple of years, our season has been 25 cities. And the different levels of PBR. I mean our elite tour,
right.
The Unleash the Beast tour that's on TV. 25, 26. Well, this year it's 19. You know, it isn't half. We always would say the second half of the season, really it was a third. And now we've doubled up in the middle. We did a couple things different. We gained, the way I figure it, from the first of the year to May, we gained 4 events that we didn't used to have. Because our first event was on January 1st, which we never do, but we did that this year in Indianapolis. We had an event on Easter weekend, which we never do. But we did it this year. By the way, Silvano Alves did not go because he refused to ride on Good Friday, which PBR let him do that. So then we did 2 midweek. They were one night, but they were midweek events, LA and Everett, Washington. So in that time period, we gained 4 events that we didn't used to have. So we're not all that short of events, you know, a few, but it kind of made it exciting. So that's kind of how the structure worked.
And I like it, and it's going to be split up 2 weeks and in the World Finals in May down there in Texas, which will be super cool because you guys are loved anywhere you go. But Texas is, well, it's Texas.
It's not Vegas. Yeah, and then, of course, you know, people aren't going to be without bull riding. This is for another conversation as far as how it all works, but the PBR has come up with their own draft, team owners, team concept bull riding that's going to start the end of July, really into August. So there's going to be bull riding. And I think, man, I shouldn't say this, don't quote me, but I think the main goal here with the adjustment of the season 2, hey, we've been trying 15 years to do this. This was not an all of a sudden thing. PBR has always wanted, for that many years, to get off of that kind of November date because we're within a month of the NFR.
Right.
The PBR is, we're all rodeo fans in the PBR. Now, I didn't mean all the people who are the head of pro rodeo are PBR fans, make no mistake. But we understand what the NFR is. It's the greatest event in Western sports. A lot of people would like to go to both, but they're a month apart and they can't afford to. So we've been trying to get this May thing for a long time. Ultimately, the adjustment will then be the new season, like 2023, I think might start in November instead of the first of the year. So that will expand that season all the way through. So ultimately, the big shift will work. We just needed a shift year for it all to happen.
Well, and what's cool, too, is you're not going to compete against college football. You're not competing against the NFL. Plus, like you said, the NFR, which is super huge. Flint Rasmussen joining us, the great PBR entertainer. You get to stay home, but the work never stops for you. How's the podcast going? You're killing it every week, I see.
I do a half-hour show for our PBR streaming channel, Ride Pass, that's on Pluto TV, which is a free app. It's simple, it's easy, and it's free, as the commercial said. I do that, and then every other week I come out with a podcast, and did it different this week. I've been kind of real guest-based. I've had some really great names on the podcast, and I'm thankful to have connections to do that. But I used a Montana guy. Dougie Hall is my new podcast that just came out. Dancing Dougie Hall. And really it's, I don't know. I hope the fans that follow me on social media from the East Coast and different areas of the country will watch, because he talks a lot about Native culture and history. We even talk about a little bit about mascots and the word Indians and Redskins, and you know, he's a great guy. Anyway, it's been fun. It's given me a different outlet. I've realized I can't just take off and go somewhere, though. I always got to be home to do all that stuff. It's like having, it's like work,
right?
It's weird.
That 4-letter word. It gets in the way of the golf game too.
You know what? I've always said 2 things that are overrated in life: jobs and kids. What's up with that? They just screw up everything.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, I, by the way, have both your daughters have basically said I'm a member now of the family.
Really? What are you? What's they say your title is?
Well, they didn't give me. I just said I wanted to be adopted into the Rasmussen family. So, I'm thinking maybe an uncle.
So I got it. I got one.
Okay.
I know what you are. Okay. Remember the Brady Bunch? I always wanted to be in the Brady Bunch. I always wanted to be in that family. And remember towards the end of the series, the weird cousin Oliver came in, the little kid with blonde hair and wire-rimmed glasses, and you're like, who the hell's Oliver? Like, what is he? You're our Oliver.
Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, I don't either. So we'll just leave.
I can't be the cool uncle?
Oliver got to share the bathroom with Marcia and Jan. He can't be all bad.
I guess. Yeah, but he was whatever. All right, Oliver. I gotta do some thinking. I gotta talk to them. By the way, it was fun at the spring rodeo. It's so exciting. It was back in the brick, and I know you got your MSU rodeo hoodie on there. But you got the weekend off, which was great. But what was it like as a fan to see the football team running out in front of the rodeo team?
So I had I don't know that was completely my idea, but I went to Dean Folkford, who's a big booster, and the girls, and I said, here's what you need to do is, I had a little different vision of it. I wanted them all in their jerseys. They needed to be in their jerseys. And I wanted them out the center gate, flags over their shoulders, and just walking, staring down the crowd, and then stand in a line and the rodeo team run around them.
Oh.
Production, man.
Right?
Production. But I think it's cool because I don't know that we could name anything that the rodeo team has ever done in the history of MSU having a rodeo, which, by the way, my dad rodeoed for MSU. I don't know that anything has brought more recognition and positive light to the rodeo team like riding their horses down the football field. Would you agree? Is there anything they could do?
No, and because, you know, the last couple national championships were not a part of the athletic program, you know, because they were a club sport. But, no, I think you're right. I think, you know, because it's the best run out in all of college football. It gets attention, you know, national sports places bring it up. So, I mean, it's the coolest thing in the world. Yeah, like Oklahoma people say, Oklahoma State, we run a girl on a horse down the field. And I'm like, just the one then? Yeah. Just one? Well, I noticed everybody else in Montana started doing it. Western started doing it. Northern started doing it. I can tell you one that'll never let a horse run on their field. The Grizz? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Well, they've got a lot of other crap on that field. Hey, I'll tell you this. Let's come back to that. But here's a topic. Okay. For you and me. A few years ago, Bobby Houck said something about this whole Bobcat Grizzly thing isn't even fun anymore. Do you remember he said that? It's gotten to the point of vitriol, and I agree with him. Yes. I agree with Bobby Houck. My sister put it a good way, and I'm wearing a Montana State rodeo sweatshirt. My folks went there. My sister went there. Will went there for a short time. My kids are there. My parents are proud alums of Montana State. And as my sister says, cheer unapologetically for your team. But listen, we are lucky to live in Montana. You can cheer for Western, Carroll, Rocky, MSUB, Northern, Providence. I think somebody cheers for Providence. I don't know. Somebody. Be a Bobcat, be a Grizzly. What a great place to be and have all this pride in these cool programs, and you can watch great football and great basketball. I mean, I saw a guy post on April 2nd on social media a Bobcat logo. And he said, when it's April 2nd and still realize your team is worthless. And it was like, do you have that kind of time? Like, I don't. I don't understand it. I'll tell you this, and I don't even agree that at the semifinal game, afterwards, when everybody stormed the field, that they played the Moni Moni song. I don't agree with that. What do the Grizzlies have to do with the Bobcats going to the national championship? Guess what? The Grizzlies kicked our ass. Yeah. It was the best, which created the best turnaround I've ever seen in a college season. Good job, Grizzlies. They were tough. Yeah. The Grizzlies were really good this year. They were. I went to a game at Washington Grizzly Stadium for the first time in my life. I went to the Eastern Washington playoff game. Mm-hmm. And I was, the stadium is nice. Washington Grizzly Stadium is very nice. It was well built, well constructed, well added onto. All of that stuff is great. But after being in Auburn 2 weeks before that and seeing SEC football, that was a football stadium. Now, are the Bobcats Cup? Yes. Everything's getting better across the state. It all takes, we all know the money. And wins help, and the year of the Bobcat continues. So, but I do have respect for. I mean, I have Grizz on the show all the time. I have Bobby Houck on. I've had coaches, and Jace Lewis was on the other day. Could you imagine if Jace Lewis had gone to MSU? He calls it Bozeman State, by the way, like Houck. But if he had been in the same linebacking core with Troy Anderson. Hey, how cool would that be? A Dillon kid, Jace is from Townsend. Yeah, right? Great kid. That kid's he's a great player. That would have been cool, yeah. But you know what? Both the Bobcats and the Grizzlies know that even if they're not starting, even if they're not starring, they need that undercurrent, that little foundation of Montana kids to spread what it means to be a Grizzly, what it means to be a Bobcat. And it keeps the fans hooked too. Yep. And both programs, Vegan does it well. Of course, Choate got it. Bobby Houck gets it. Here's something, and I know he's not listening to the show. You know who I really respected the guy, I thought never really got it, was Rob Ashe. Mm-hmm. And I think he's a great coach. It was a different setting, and that's not a slam on it, but
You need to get it
Yeah.
in this state to
Yep.
keep people hooked.
Well, that's why, I mean, and Ash was hired and came along. This is, I mean, we're getting way off topic, but he came along at a time when MSU needed that complete 180 from the Mike Kramer days, and Kramer got it. He definitely understood the rivalry as well. But no, I mean, it's fun. It's great. I love it. I did, I spent an entire weekend calling the State A over in Missoula and Dahlberg. It's a great place to watch basketball. Because you're right there on top of the action, which is it's awesome. And their softball field is awesome.
Well, I'll say this, and then we can change the topic. I even, right over there, I got some new uniforms made. My Cooper Tire bosses are great. I wear Cooper Tires, but I have a new Bobcat-themed uniform to wear in the arena here in Billings. But I will not. I make jokes about Missoula. It's hard to rodeo in your sandals, whatever. Those are Missoula jokes that we all do. But I will never do the FTG thing.
No. And
I hate it. I told our music guy, he and I have a couple of them I work with that produce the music for the show. I said, no Moni. I'm not touching that. I cheer unapologetically for my team, but everybody had a good season this year. And one of my best friends in the world, Tom Reynolds, the coach of Shelby High School, his son Rhett, 6'9" kid, is going to play for the Grizzlies. Okay. Now, I'm maybe not going to go put on a Grizzly shirt, but I'll be up there cheering for him. So.
I did the rodeo in Bozeman on SWX with a Grizz, Caleb Barrett. So great bullfighter and a good dude. So that was, they're fun. Flint Rasmussen joining us on the Jason Walker Show, Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. We brought up Troy Anderson. You got the draft starting tonight. He's not going to go in the first round, but there is a lot of potential for tomorrow or early Saturday morning for his name to be called, and that's pretty darn cool for a boy from Dillon, Montana.
And he keeps. Have you noticed he keeps moving up?
Yes.
Like one list I saw was like number 59, fourth among inside linebackers. I hope people in Montana realize what we're watching. Will he be do any of us know if he's going to be a long time 10, 12-year player in the NFL? Nobody can predict that at all. But enjoy this moment of a kid from a ranch in Montana. And it's an old school story because most big-timers, whether it's basketball or football, they're not just playing at their local high school and go play 4 years at their college and get drafted like it used to be. There's academies and summer football. You know that. Mm-hmm. It's a different world. This is a kid that's a rancher from Montana. And I remember watching him as a junior at the state track meet in Bozeman win the 100 and 200. That's when Paige was there with Shoto. I was coaching the Shoto track team. And I thought, this guy's a freak. Like, he's like 6'3". Who is this kid? And so we better enjoy it. My prediction is, I think he may be moved up to the second round. Don't you? Possibly.
I do too. I agree.
Yeah. So Troy's going to get drafted, and I think Lewis Kidd's going to get drafted, and I think Daniel Hardy and Lance McCutcheon will get free agent tryouts.
I agree.
How's my prediction?
I think all four of those are pretty darn accurate. I really believe so.
God, I should have a show.
Yeah. Well, we could call it According to Flint. That sounds kind of. It's got a ring to it, I think.
Well, hey, I'm just thinking outside the barrel here.
Wow. That was.
Hey, and I'll tell you my biggest thing with Lance McCutcheon, who I love. I don't know how fast he is. I've never seen his stuff.
I don't either.
Because that's the key. The NFL is speed.
Yeah.
Man. It's all about speed.
His brother's a pretty good defensive back at Western, by the way.
What's his brother's name? First name?
That's a really good question. I called one of their games this year. I called a couple of their games this year.
McCutcheon.
Yeah, the other McCutcheon. Yeah,
I think it starts with the original McCutcheon, and Lance is the other one. I don't know.
No. Hey, it's Superhero Day today, National Superhero Day. If you were a superhero, what would you be?
Superman.
Okay.
I'm watching, have you ever seen the things they post, like Montana State football posts them where they have a camera with a question above it and the players walk by and answer the question?
Yeah.
And they're like, what superhero would you be? And so many of those guys answered Batman. Batman doesn't have, he's just a guy in a suit. Now he's rich. He's rich.
Yes.
No. Superman, I want to fly, man. If you flew on airplanes as much as I did, you'd want to be Superman.
I think you'd not want to fly as much as you're on airplanes.
It's got to be Superman.
Okay.
I mean, no brainer.
Okay. Well,
and Lois Lane, smoke show.
Well, yeah, but Batman had Michelle Pfeiffer.
She's crazy. Come on, man. I don't know. No, because Batman gets beat up because he's just a guy. He's Bruce Wayne. He doesn't have any superpowers.
So, but who was the better Batman of all time? Who's the best Batman?
I think.
And there's only one answer.
Because I remember when that first movie came out, Michael Keaton.
Yes.
So, and I think I like Michael Keaton because he was so far off of being Batman that then he became Batman.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale rocked it pretty well.
I'm not a Christian Bale fan.
Yeah. He's
310 to Yuma was a good movie.
310 to Yuma. I had a couple friends in that, like Dutch Lunick from Browning, Montana. He's with the Indian guy in anyway.
Really?
Yeah, true.
Oh, nice. When's your cameo on Yellowstone?
Oh, screw Yellowstone, man. Come on. They won't. I don't know. I'm friends with Forrest Smith. I know Taylor Sheridan a little bit, kind of. All those guys. Nothing. Never snows on Yellowstone. You notice that?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you know what? I was thinking. Okay, see, I always have an introspective take on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
I think it dawned on me why Montanans have a little chip on their shoulder a little bit about Yellowstone. And I don't think it's just that it's Hollywoodized and it doesn't make sense. You can't just go to Great Falls like that. You know, I'll tell you the bigger picture here and when it kind of hit me. When we had that big blizzard down here a couple weeks ago, southeast Montana has been in a drought for 2 years. There's no grass. And it dawned on me when my friend Lloyd Ketchum, great bullfighter, sent a picture and he had a pile of about 15 dead calves that he had found under stowbanks that he couldn't save. And I think the chip on Montanan's shoulder about maybe Yellowstone is it's made everybody want to ranch in Montana. But they never see that.
No.
They never see a spring storm that you're thankful for because it might end a drought but kills 25 of your calves. You're out there working all day long just trying to save your animals, trying to feed your animals. But then somebody comes in and wants to fork over a bunch of $1 million just to be in Montana. I get that, but I think that's the chip is it hasn't really shed a light on what true ranching in Montana is. And there's such a pride in Montana of what it really is that it rubs people the wrong way. Do you think I'm on track a little bit there?
No, I do. I just enjoy watching it because I'm a Kevin Costner fan.
Yeah, I am too.
And then I just like Rip a lot. Cole Hauser. But I see it. I mean, it's Hollywoodized. That's fine. You've been in movies. You know that. You know what Hollywood's like.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, too. I have been in some great, great big budget movies. What's the one with Kiefer Sutherland that he was a rodeo clown? The fact I can't think of the name of it shows you how big it was. Maybe Cowboy Up or something like that.
Oh, yeah. He was a clown in that one?
Yeah, he was a rodeo clown. He followed me around one summer. He'd show up at rodeos and watch me.
Huh.
And we became friends through that.
I don't remember. I know he was in it.
Yeah.
Or was it the Cowboy Way? No, because he did. That was
that was with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. They were, and then Cowboy Up. I don't think I've seen that one.
I'll look it up. And then of course The Longest Ride with Scott Eastwood.
Right.
I'm cameo in that, and we all did some stunt work in it because they can't do everything that cowboys do. So when Scott Eastwood is naked in the shower with the girl, that's actually me. He couldn't do all his own stunts. I mean, come on, it's just Scott.
I just rewatched Gran Torino the other day, and he's such a punk in that.
Yeah, he's a little punk in it.
He is.
Good guy, by the way.
I've heard.
Nice guy.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your residuals? Because I talked to Dean Alexander about Amazing Grace and Chuck, and he still gets 18 cents.
Oh yeah, they filmed that Bozeman, didn't they?
Yeah. I tried out for a part.
Movie.
Oh,
what a terrible movie.
It's a classic. You got the dude from CSI's in there.
Oh yeah,
the main guy.
That's right.
Gregory Peck.
Peck's in it.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Such a good movie for such a terrible movie. Hey, I'm the same way. When that movie first came out, The Longest Ride, well, I got paid to go spend a week in North Carolina, so you get paid pretty well.
Right.
And all you do is sit around and eat. That's it. If people think the movie sets are exciting, holy crap. It's so boring. And there was a locker room full of bull riders that they used, all our guys, and they snuck beer into the ice machine, and they were drinking beer all day, and when the movie found out, they were so pissed. They were so mad. But and then I'd get residuals when it first came out. I'd get 800 here, 900. Now I'll get like $1.16.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah. Okay. But that's how those movie stars, can you imagine like the movie Titanic, the residuals that Leonardo DiCaprio just gets every year that he probably just says, yeah, whatever.
Well, they probably don't even see those checks. They just, their agents take care of it, management, all of that.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. I saw a tweet the other day from you. I think somebody said you were going to watch True Country, or what did they mean? Pure Country? Pure
Country.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Pure Country. I was sitting here. I got home. I'd been traveling all week, and I turned my TV on, and Coal Miner's Daughter was on.
Right. Oh, that's what it was.
It's an amazing. I never realized what a great movie that is.
I don't remember.
And then he goes, "What are you watching next? Pure Country?" And I looked on the guide, and that was the next movie on. Like, Buddy Jackson from the Road Crew. I wish you'd quit bringing your boyfriend on my bus. George Strait. I mean, you can't. Speaking of Academy Awards.
Oh man.
No.
Did you see Pure Country 2?
Absolutely not.
Okay. My wife has a big deal with this because it's Pure Country 2, but George Strait doesn't play Dusty. He plays George Strait.
What?
Yeah.
No. No thanks.
Yeah.
No.
It came in the package. We ordered the Pure Country for like $5, and then you got the other one with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. No. George Strait as himself.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, so what was the worst movie from the 90s? 8 Seconds or Pure Country?
The worst one?
Yeah. Because they're both really bad. When you go back now and look at the acting from 30 years ago, it was really, really bad.
I don't think 8 Seconds is a bad movie. Is my sound okay? Because you're fuzzy.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. The thing with 8 Seconds, for any of us that know the people, if you don't know the whole story, I think it's a good movie. Portrays rodeo okay. The guy that got screwed on that movie was Jim Sharp, because he traveled with him. And I talked to Cody Lambert about that on one of my podcasts. And I said, why did Jim Sharp get screwed so bad? They didn't have him. He said, well, they need for Hollywood 3 people worked better in that traveling together scenario. I thought Stephen Baldwin was great as Tough Hedeman. I don't know that he did portray the dickness of Tough Hedeman pretty well. Lambert is not a poet,
Right.
But he brought up a good. Lambert was like, Jim Sharp rode all his bulls and never said anything. So they couldn't fit him. He didn't fit in a movie because he was boring. He won everything and he never talked. So, but you know what they do? So I think 8 Seconds is the better movie than Pure Country.
Okay.
How's that?
That's good.
Here's a little tidbit, and then I know you got to go, but here's an interesting story. People love Lane Frost stories. When Cody Lambert starts talking about Lane, all of us listen. It intrigues me. He said when Lane those guys, their riding percentages back then rodeoing were outlandish. 90% they'd ride. But when Lane Frost would get bucked off, the part people didn't see is he'd smile and wave to everybody, and they'd get in the car, and Cody Lambert says he's never to this day seen a cowboy so mad about not winning, about getting bucked off. So if they were left a rodeo at night and had to drive all night to the next rodeo, they liked it when Lane would get bucked off because he'd be so mad he couldn't sleep.
Oh.
So they'd crawl in the van and just fall asleep. So they'd get up in the morning, and Lane would still be driving and he'd be getting tired. Jim Sharp would crawl up beside him there. And he'd say, "What'd you think, Razor? What do you think happened on that bull last night?" And Razor would say, "I think he just fell off." And he'd get mad again, and Razor would crawl in the back and go back to sleep because they just gained another couple 100 miles. So, that stuff intrigues me.
Oh, that's a fantastic story.
It intrigues me, man. Yeah.
No, that's I mean, it's a great movie. As far as it's that one or Longest Ride.
Yeah, longest. Yeah, longest. Well, the Longest Ride movie, I like the other story better.
Okay.
Not the bull riding story, but I will say Longest Ride used PBR riders, the PBR set, PBR bulls. We were all in on that, so it was accurate in that sense. So,
yeah. You can't. I mean, what was the one with? What was the movie with Scott Glenn when he was a bull rider? The aging bull rider had Ben Johnson in it.
Right, I remember. Not bad, not terrible.
Yeah.
The thing is, rodeo people get so we get really bent out of shape of how they portray rodeo. I wonder what NASCAR guys think of watching Cole Trickle.
They absolutely hated the movie.
Exactly, in NASCAR, everything. I mean, watch a football movie. It's the same. They got to make it for Hollywood, and so it's just the way it goes. If we ever made a true movie about rodeo, it'd be boring.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean it would. The best conversations are behind the chutes.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah, it's a different world, I think, than what Hollywood wants to portray. Cowboys don't sit and argue about who's tougher. Or, man, I conquered that bull. You know that. Yeah. It's just different than that. So
we've talked about the buckles before. Where are they from?
The ones here?
Yeah, the ones behind you.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a whole bunch stored away. And this buckle display thing I bought at the Cowboys and Candlelight MSU banquet last year.
Okay.
And so I have a storage unit. That's what happens when your marriage ends. You have things like storage units.
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably the best ones I have, I'll pick them. Here, and then this one. I'll give you an example of each different face, okay? So I have 8 of these. I know, is it backwards?
No, it's good. Okay.
That's PRCA Clown of the Year. That's 05, the last year I PRCA rodeoed.
Okay.
That's why I have that one. I won that 8 years in a row. This is the 2005, the last year I worked the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Oh.
So I have 8 of those. My brother Pete wears one, so he has one of those, and my daughter Shelby has one of those. My daughter Paige has a Clown of the Year buckle. This is that's what a PRCA World Champion buckle looks like. That's the Coors Man in the Can Award, which is a prestigious honor.
Yeah.
I have 7 of those. My dad has one of the first ones I won.
Nice.
But that's that's the gold buckle. And then every year at PBR finals, we get buckles for working the finals, and this is a very unique. It says entertainer on it. So that's cool. Wait, I'll show you one more that means a lot to me. I did the Pendleton Roundup from 1998 to 2005, and when I left, they gave me the famous 3 buck and horse Pendleton Roundup.
Nice.
It's like a director's buckle or a champion's buckle, and here's a little trivia from the Pendleton Roundup. If you have this buckle on, you can get in any gate on that facility for free with that buckle.
Nice. So, well, you're Flint Rasmussen. You get in anywhere free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right.
Yeah, right. Anyway, hey, I'm glad you asked. I like buckle. In the words of Montana silversmiths, every buckle has a story.
Yes. Yes.
So.
And I'm in the process. It's been a year, but I'm going to get a couple of mine, my show logo ones.
You should.
Yeah. Before I let you go, you get to do the Dusty Glico bull riding memorial this year.
Yeah, I had some, I was able to add, so I can do some lower level PBR stuff. I have to go to all the big ones like in Billings this weekend. But if the Touring Pro, which is the lower level ones, I can work those. It's kind of extra. There's one in Kalispell on Friday night I'm going to, and then the Dusty Glico in Great Falls on Saturday night I'm going to. Just added a few to the summer that were close. So yeah, I do a few things in June and July extra besides the main tour. I have not worked around Great Falls for so long. So I hope people understand, well, it'll be a great show and it'll be good to see everybody there. Same up in Kalispell. I haven't been there in forever. So I don't know, that really is a chance to go kind of get back. We talk about it, the guys I work with. It gives us a chance to go work the events that were the reason we wanted to do this job in the first place. Sure. There's not TV controlling anything. There's not sponsor stuff that overrides what we do. So it's pretty fun. I am nursing a bad knee right now, so I need to get through about July and then have it cleaned up. I have some meniscus things going on because my knees are 112 years old.
Right, because I still use the line about the old lady that came up to you and said you used to dance a lot more. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, man, you used to get around. Yeah, no kidding, lady. I'm 54 years old. I'm 52 years old. What do you expect?
Yeah.
And I know you got to go and I got to go, but this is the week I get, oh my God, are you so excited to be working in Billings, in state, which I am. But it's probably the busiest week and the most pressure-filled event that I do all year, because there's those people that saw me in wherever or saw me here 20 years ago. And there's a pressure there, an in-state pressure of, people say, well, you used to do this, you used to do that. And so it's hard, but I like seeing everybody, But I graduated with 36 other kids at Shoto High School, but it is astounding how many people I went to school with this week. So,
about 1.1 million in the state.
Yeah, and I don't have any tickets. Sorry. Well, maybe for you. I'm just putting that out there.
I can't. I have my daughter turns 4 on Sunday, so we're having a big birthday party, and so I actually have to miss a golf tournament to go to her birthday.
She won't remember anyway.
That's what I tried to tell my wife, but
yeah. My girls are at a college rodeo in Missoula,
yes, they
and
are.
then they're driving over Sunday and singing the anthem.
Awesome. Yeah. It's always a great time when they sing. It's always a great time to catch up with you. I love talking with you about non-PBR stuff.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the way it goes.
Because you are an encyclopedia. You're a plethora of entertainment.
I'm a sponge. Hey, but people ask me, I get it from young guys, where do you get material for your shows? How do you come up with, pay attention. You just got to pay attention. Yeah. You know that, doing your show. You just got to pay attention.
Hey, I have an idea for you. You could rip on school boards in the state of Montana this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I know. I will say I don't usually rip on stuff that I don't get the whole story. Right. So I never know. Yeah, but I'm with you. I know what you're saying. We are going through a teacher and coach supply crisis in Montana. And then you see some of the stuff going on and you think, well, that's fine. My brother Will used to say, don't bitch about the coach, because he coached basketball. Don't bitch about the coach unless you are willing to do the job.
Or officiate.
So, officiating, same way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, enjoy the weekend at home. Enjoy the relaxation. Take care of the body. Have some Pendleton. You can get it now from Shelby. She still owes me a bottle, by the way.
I have some right over there.
I got a new shelf. I'm going to send you a picture. I had my aunt's or my wife's uncle built a whiskey shelf for me, so I'll send it to you.
Good work.
Yeah.
Good work.
Hey, have fun down there, and it's always good to catch up with you. And you can come on anytime.
Hey, we'll do it again soon, buddy. Thank you.
He's so great. Flint Rasmussen. The great Flint Rasmussen. All right, quick break. Come back, wrap things up. Jason Walker Show. Hang on.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Jason Walker Show on a Thursday. If you missed anything, JasonWalkerShow.com. Let's do on this day in history real quick. It is April the 28th. It is Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day, Blueberry Pie Day, Great Poetry Reading Day, and Superhero Day. 1930 on this date, the first night organized baseball game played in Independence, Kansas, in the Negro Leagues. 1961, Warren Spahn, his second no-hitter, at the age of 41. 1972, the courts awarded the 1968 Kentucky Derby to the second place winner due to the winner being given drugs before the race. Wonder where we've heard that from before recently, Bob Baffert. 1998, Baltimore Orioles lose an AL record 21 games in a row. And Margaret, born on this date, 1941, in Sweden. John Daly, born on this date, 1966, the great golfer, whose son at Arkansas in college golf just signed a NIL deal, name, image, likeness, with Hooters, like his dad. And on this date in 2016, Conrad Burns, the great, great man and senator from Montana, passed away at the age of 81. This date, 6 years ago. All right, let's wrap up the show. The Walk-Off, presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. If you missed anything today, this week, just go to JasonWalkerShow.com. Back next week, full slate of lineup. It's going to be fun. Monday night, 7 p.m., Jefferson High School Gymnasium, special board meeting regarding Clint Lang. Let's get his job back. Make sure you stop in a Cafe Zydeco for all of your great hunger needs this weekend. We'll do it again Monday in the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave. Hope you have a great weekend and stay safe. Take care of each other. Love one another. See you now on Monday.
Produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.